Alright guys, welcome to SMYLZ.com. I, of course, am the Legendary SMYLZ. Peep game. Let me bore you with my drunken babbling for a little while. Okay? So, I recently seen the movie Lucy. Okay? And it was a terrible movie overall. I like the concept, I like the premise, I like the opening scene, but I didn't like the movie. I think they could have did way more with the movie. Especially, I didn't like how they were trying to shove the theory of evolution down the audience's throat. Now, don't get me wrong. I subscribe to the theory of evolution. I believe all the animals and creatures that we see today, I believe the way humans are today are a product of the process of evolution. I believe in the theory of evolution. I don't like how the movie was forcing it, though. I think the movie should have suggested the theory of evolution and allowed the audience to subscribe to it if they felt like it, and if they didn't agree to it, they had the option to reject it. But the movie carried on as if the theory of evolution is a matter of fact, and if you don't like it, fuck you. That's pretty much how the movie displayed evolution. Like, fuck you, it is evolution. I don't care what you think, and we're just going to ride this movie out as if it's complete fucking fact. Which I believe it is fact. I just don't like how they forced it. Anyway, the concept of the movie, which was terrible, the concept was good, but the movie was terrible, is it suggests that humans only have access to 10% of their brain capacity, meaning everything we do now, our sight, hearing, breathing, our senses, the things we accomplish, the choices that we make, our communication abilities, our technological abilities, are all products of only using 10% of our brain. So the idea is, well, what if a person can unlock more than 10% of their brain? So they had the main character, Lucy, exposed to a drug that allowed her to access more percentages of her brain as the movie moved forward chronologically. And as she unlocked bigger portions of her brain capacity, bigger percentages, she began to control more and more. It started off with herself. She began to control her own metabolism, her cellular structure. She was able to change her features, like her hair color, eye color, the way her body was shaped, just off of will alone. Eventually, when she got to the mid percentages, like between 40, 50, and 60, she began to be able to control other people. She can read their thoughts. She can see what they're thinking. She can hack into their memories. And then beyond that, she began to control inanimate objects, cell phones, computers. Matter, just matter. Spoiler alert. But the movie was garbage. I spoiled garbage movies because I don't want you to suffer through it. But it was pretty much all complete fiction. I believe we still use 100% of our brain. We just, don't access it. But the cellular mitosis, our process, everything we do, it requires 100% of our brain. But that was the point of the movie. Now, I'm a nerd. And I don't really have a lot going on with my life. So I have a lot of time to think, much to my chagrin. But that movie did get me thinking about the theory of evolution. One of the concepts of the theory of evolution is natural selection. Now, I also believe in natural selection. For those who aren't familiar with natural selection, it's the process that nature chooses the superior genetic codes to be passed down from generation to generation. Our DNA, our genes carry the information of life. The problem is the majority of animals that carry DNA, that carry the genetic code, aren't immortal. So they have to pass on the information via reproduction. Most animals require two mates to reproduce. You have a male and a female. The male and the female come together, pass on the genetic information through their offspring, and begin the next generation, so on and so forth. The thing is, the animals that reproduce just don't reproduce all willy-nilly. There's a selection process involved. The two mates are trying to find the hosts that are best suited to pass on the genetic code. They try to find the superior genes. You want the superior genes because of survival. The animals and the creatures don't just reproduce just like whatever, sure, that's a male, that's a female, let's get together to reproduce. No, they select a mate. They select a spouse. And there's different ways of doing that. Sometimes it's instinctive. Sometimes the animals instinctively know which mate is better suited to carry on the genetic code. Maybe they can see it. Maybe this one looks bigger than that one. Maybe they can hear it. They sing songs. Or they can smell it. There's something that they know instinctively, like, wow, this mate is superior. I'm going to pass on my genes with this one. Sometimes it's not obvious, and there's a courting process. The males or the females have to do something to prove their worthiness to mate. They have to display or something. They have to present something. They have to do something to show. They might dance. They might make a noise. They might do something to show their genetic superiority. Sometimes this is competition. The males or the females have to fight each other for dominance and prove that they're the alpha male or the alpha female and they're suited. Sometimes they could change their mind. Sometimes the female might choose one male mate, but another mate feels like, no, you've chosen wrong, and they fight the other male mate, ward them off, and make the female mate change his mind. You know? But one other factor that most people don't consider is environment. The environment also has a part to play in which animal is or which mate is genetically superior. So let's take bears, right? If a female bear was trying to mate in the Arctic and there was a polar bear and a brown bear, the female bear would probably will choose the polar bear, because in the Arctic, the polar bear is superior to the brown bear. The polar bear has a white coat. The genetic information that makes its coat white is better suited in the Arctic environment than a brown bear. So the female bear would choose the polar bear to mate with in the Arctic. But if you go to the jungle or the mountains or wherever the brown bear is prevalent at, I don't really know what happens at the brown bear. Let's just say the forest. So if there was a brown bear and a polar bear in the forest, that same female bear may choose the brown bear to mate with, because the brown bear is better suited in that environment to survive. The polar bear is obsolete in the jungle because its white coat makes it too visible and it can't hunt for food. It's not going to survive long in the jungle. So the brown bear is genetically superior in that environment. So environment does play a better role in genetic superiority than we think. All right. So that's the concept of natural selection. Now let's transfer that same concept and bring it to humanity. I don't think humans are exempt in the natural selection process. I do believe that we are sexually attracted to those we sense have superior genes. And I also do believe it is based on the environment. I think in some environments, some genetics are more superior than others, depending on the environment. All right? So let's take where I'm at, the New Orleans area. And let's take the African American community, right? If you apply the concept of natural selection in a New Orleans environment with the African American community, who is genetically superior? There's an easy way to find that out. The people who are genetically superior are the ones that are more sexually desirable, which means they have the most sex, which means they have the most offspring, right? And when you look at the African American community, the ones that have the most sex and the ones that have the most offspring are the ones you would probably consider unfavorable for reproduction. When you look at it statistically, it's the ghetto chick that's on welfare that has 4 or 5 kids for like 2 or 3 baby moms. It's the dude that swag that don't really know how to treat a woman. You know, he got the pants sagging with no car, no job, but somehow he has 5 different kids for 4 different baby mamas. And it's not just exclusive to just the baby mama, baby daddy. Because, you know, if you look at it, even good, decent men are attracted to those ghetto baby mamas. And even good, decent women are sexually attracted to the thug type dude. You see it all the time. I seen an internet meme the other day, and it was like I guess it was Rihanna's surprise face. And a little meme caption said, the way you look when you see an ugly bitch with a fine ass dude. And I've heard women complain about this all the time. They see a good, decent looking man with a trash hood rat with 7 kids, and they're scratching their heads trying to figure out why that is. Dudes do this all the time. They see a good, decent woman, but the good, decent woman was an asshole loser man. Like, why is this woman with this asshole that don't know how to treat her right? He got his pants sagging. He don't have his shit together. Why is this woman attracted to this man that treats her like shit? Well, it may be natural selection. It may be for some reason this hood red ass girl or this thug ass dude has superior genes in this environment. They have something in them that nature says, you know what? In this environment, they are better suited to carry on the genetic code. It may not logically make sense, because it doesn't. They got guys, they got good women that got cars, apartments, they keep money, yet they're still single. They can't find a man. They don't have kids. And they're looking at the ghetto hood rat with 4 or 5 kids trying to figure out, well, how is she doing it? They got guys like me, got a job, got a car, keep money, I'm responsible, I got my shit together, yet I don't have any kids. I don't have a mate. I'm single. But then I see these thug ass dudes, they got 4 or 5 kids and 6 or 7 women. It's not just the bad women they got good women. I know good women that logically know that the guys that they're dealing with are bad for them. They can even recognize the good qualities of me. Logically now. Logically, they can admit, wow, Smiles, you got your shit together. You got money coming in. You got a security, protection. You got a home. You keep a job. You are going to make somebody a good husband. Yet, even though they can logically see that, they aren't genetically attracted to me. They're not sexually, they don't desire what I have to offer. For some reason, they desire something that seems less superior. But maybe they're not really less superior. Maybe for some reason in this environment, they are better suited. I have women friends that can admit that, like, damn, this dude ain't no good. He don't know how to act. He still stays with his parents. He don't have his shit together. I don't like the way he talks. But for some reason, they still fuck with him. It's something about him. It's something about him that keeps them attracted to them, even though they logically know they bad for them. Same thing with men. I'm a male. I know what a good woman and a wifey type is, but sometimes I do like to see a woman just shaking her ass, and sometimes a woman shaking her ass has 4 or 5 kids. My female friends complain about it all the time when they see a dude that they like, but this dude probably already has kids for a whack-ass baby mom. Like, man, you know, this guy I met, he seems pretty nice, but his baby mom is like, I wonder what she did to get lucky enough to have a baby with this dude. It might be natural selection. Maybe for some reason, in the African-American community in New Orleans, Louisiana, the ghetto hood rat that's on welfare and food stamps has superior genes to the woman that seems to be doing the right thing. Same thing with the males. Maybe in this environment, the hood male has superior genes naturally to the guy that seems to be doing everything the right way. That's what the statistics say. Who's the one reproducing? Well, the ghetto hood rat woman has 4 or 5 kids, but the woman that's doing the right thing and has her own apartment has 0 to 1 child. They're reproducing at a higher rate, which suggests they have more desirable traits. Same thing with the males. The thug hood rat male has 5 or 6 kids for 4 or 5 baby mamas, where the good men seem to have 0 to 1 child. I have no kids. Some of the good dudes I know have maybe 1 or none. But the ones that's reproducing the most are the thuggy type. So maybe they have superior genes when you look at it naturally. Well, they have the most kids. They're spreading the most diseases. That means they're having the most sex. And in order to have the most sex, you have to be sexually desirable. Nobody's having sex with nobody that they're not sexually attracted to, unless it's rape. But we're not talking about that. So in order for these people to have this much amount of sex, there must be something about their genetic code that makes them more desirable to people. So maybe the swagged out dude or the ghetto hood rat welfare woman is the next step in our evolution. That's if you take natural selection to heart. But who am I to argue with science, right?